All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible tech that powers pretty much everything you do online. We're going to follow the journey of data, all the way from some company's server right into the palm of your hand. I mean, really think about that for a second. Your phone just knows this stuff instantly. It feels like magic, right? But it's not. It's actually the result of an incredibly complex, super high speed journey that data's taking, literally every single second of every day. So, what's really going on here? Okay, so to get to the answer, we have to start with one simple fact. We are living in a world that is just absolutely swimming in data. Think about any company you interact with, a streaming service, your bank, an online store. They're all dealing with a constant, and I mean constant, flood of information. But here's the catch. In its raw form, this data is, well, it's a mess. It's unstructured, it's chaotic, and it's stored in a dozen different ways. It has a ton of potential, for sure, but it's not powerful. Not yet. So, where's all this data even coming from? Well, it's pouring in from everywhere. You've got your classic data stores, databases holding records for every purchase you make. Then you have these live data streams, which are capturing things in real time, like every single click and search happening on a website. And of course, you have data coming straight from applications when you sign up for a service or make a payment. It's a constant storm of information from all directions. So this is the big question, right? How do companies possibly manage all this chaos and turn it into something they can actually use? They need a system, a way to tame that flood. And this is it. It's called a data pipeline. The best way to think about it is like a super sophisticated, totally automated plumbing system for all that data. Its one and only job is to take all that raw, messy stuff from the outside world and process it, turning total chaos into a clean, organized, and incredibly valuable asset. So let's actually do it. Let's follow a single piece of data on its journey through one of these pipelines and see exactly how it works, step by step. Generally speaking, you can break a pipeline down into 5 main stages. First, it has to collect all that raw data from all those different sources. Then it needs to ingest it, basically load it into the system. Next, it gets stored, usually in a massive place called a data lake or a data warehouse. But here, step 4, this is where the real magic happens, the compute stage. This is where all that messy data gets cleaned up, organized, and transformed into a perfectly structured, usable format. And finally, once it's clean and ready, it can be consumed by all the people and the systems who need it. Now, that super important compute stage can happen in 2 main ways. On one hand, you've got batch processing. This is for handling huge amounts of data on a schedule, like a retail company running a job overnight to add up all the sales from the previous day. But for things that need to happen right now, you have stream processing. This is what handles data in real time the second it arrives. It's exactly how your bank can spot a potentially fraudulent charge the very instant you swipe your card. And who gets to use this beautiful, clean data at the end of the line? Well, pretty much everyone. Data science teams use it to build predictive models that can guess what you might buy next. Business intelligence tools like Tableau turn it into easy-to-read dashboards for executives. Marketing teams might use it to see how well their campaigns are doing. And of course, machine learning models are constantly eating this data to get smarter and smarter. Okay, so now we have this amazing, clean, structured data that's super useful inside the company. But that still doesn't explain how it gets onto your phone's weather app. We're still missing a piece of the puzzle, a bridge to the outside world. And that's the next critical question we have to answer. The data pipeline did all the hard work internally, but how does a company securely and efficiently hand that data off to an application that you, the user, are holding in your hand? Well, the answer comes down to understanding the difference between something built for humans and something built for computers. When you go to a weather website, you're looking at a web page. It's a user interface, a UI. It's designed to look good for human eyes. But your weather app? It doesn't care if it looks good. It just needs the raw data. And that is exactly what a web service provides. It's an application programming interface, or API, and it's made for other applications to use, providing raw data in a simple, clean format. So, simply put, a web service is just a way for 2 different applications to talk to each other over the internet. I love this analogy. If the data pipeline is the kitchen that perfectly prepares all the food, the web service is the waiter. Your app places an order, and the waiter delivers the raw ingredients, the data, for your app to use however it wants. Okay, so now we have the 2 key pieces of our puzzle, the pipeline to prepare the data and the web service to deliver it. Let's see how this duo actually works together out in the wild. The weather app is the perfect example. Your phone doesn't have its own weather station, right? Of course not. It makes a request to a weather company's web service. That service sends back the raw data, temperature 72, conditions sunny, and then your app takes that raw data and makes it look beautiful in a graphical interface. And you see this exact same principle working everywhere. When you ask your smart speaker a question, it's doing the same thing. It sends a request to a web service, gets back the raw text of the answer, and then its own system reads that raw data out loud to you. And this is where it gets really, really cool. A smart home system can be set up to call that same weather web service, but instead of just showing you the data, it acts on it. If the raw data it gets back says, condition rain, it can automatically send a command to close the skylights. No human needed, just applications talking directly to each other. It's awesome. So when you put all of this together, you start to see it. You see the invisible engine that is truly powering our connected world. And that's really the big takeaway. Data pipelines work tirelessly behind the scenes, turning these gigantic messes of data into a clean, valuable resource. And then, web services act as the bridge, delivering that resource to any app in the world that needs it. It's this powerful combination that is the absolute foundation of the modern web. So why did this model take over the world? Well, because it's built on the same idea that made the web itself so successful in the first place. The web worked because it was simple, and it didn't matter what kind of computer you had. Web services use that exact same philosophy, creating a universal, simple way for any application to talk to any other application. So, the next time your phone gives you a traffic alert or suggests the perfect song, you'll know the incredible journey that data took just to get to you, a journey through a pipeline and across a web service. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. As these systems get faster and smarter every single day, what's next? What part of our world is about to be completely transformed by this invisible engine of data?